Lake, it is so nice to meet you. You burst onto the scene, a Southern hospitality. I love it. This season, let me tell you, is everything. And I love that you're a part of this wild group. But I want to talk about a recent episode. We've been getting to know a lot about you, this season. We've seen you in Vegas, we've seen you with Bradley, but you also have been opening up about also being attracted to women and previously having experience with women in the past. And I know this recent episode was very personal. What has it been like for you to really get to share this part of you on the show?
I've just had an amazing season so far, and everything has just been a learning experience. I think that I am learning myself every single day, and I'm learning my sexuality every single day. And so, being able to share that with the world and share these experiences with people that might be experiencing the same thing, it warms my heart. I feel proud of myself for giving myself like the courage to talk about it. It's hard knowing that you're going to hear this feedback that could be good or bad. Honestly, it's all just been a learning experience, but I'm really proud to be a part of it.
Oh, I'm so glad. And, I forget how young all of you are, and it is different when you're just kind of coming into yourself. But what I also love is that the youngsters nowadays really are just more free to accept themselves, whatever that means. How did you kind of just get to be in such accepting mode for yourself when it comes to relationships, with men and women?
I'm Gen Z in the middle. Most of the cast is Gen Z, millennial, and being a part of this generation, we're able to adapt to different situations. We see it on social media. Rather than seeing the 100 people around you, we're seeing millions of people on the internet. So we're able to experience and experiment. I found myself experimenting at a young age. I felt comfortable just doing it. The conversations that I would have with my friends were different with my family. With my close friends, I grew up with very accepting, mostly queer friends. We were all kind of just like queer artists and just having a good time together. And so I always felt at home being able to talk about my sexuality with them. And my mom and my dad love me regardless, but they also grew up in a different generation. So I want to respect their wishes. I don't blabber about who I'm like having sex with, if it's a guy or a girl. It doesn't matter. I mean, they don't really want to hear that because they're traditional people.
I got to have such a nice conversation with Michols, who also is someone who is Black from the South, a lot of tradition there as well, has also struggled with family acceptance. Not that your family isn't accepting, just having conversations around that. Have you and Michols been able to kind of relate to similar experiences when it comes to
Yes.
sexuality, etc.?
Yes, I love Michaels to death. When it comes to my family, like with my mom, my dad, they're gonna love me regardless and be supportive of whatever decision I make. Yeah, they'll have their opinions, they'll talk their talk. And yeah, I get a little bit nervous to be fully open with them because they're older, they do their thing, but I love them regardless. With Michaels, I know he has his struggles with his parents, and I always want to be there for him. Like, he spent Thanksgiving with me and my family this past year. And
That's right.
so, yes, I want him to know that we have each other as family. He's my brother, I'm his sister. He always has my parents that will always support him too.
Do you think there's any world where Michaels and TJ will ever go into a romance, or is it strictly friend zone? I know it's tough. Just because you're both gay or LGBT doesn't mean you instantly are going to be in a relationship, obviously.
TJ and Michaels are both wonderful, wonderful men, and I love them both very, very much. But in my opinion, no.
Yeah. And listen,
Short answer, no.
no, we love them. We love them both. But also this season, aside from the LGBTQ drama and storylines, which have been so actually really impactful, like you were just talking about, we're seeing Maddie and Joe Bradley in a fake wedding, I guess, in Vegas. But
Yes.
for them, you were there. What was that like?
The fake wedding? So I'm going to be 100% with you. So before the wedding, I was already very drunk. And so we're all getting in the car and we're like, where the hell is Joe taking us? And I'm just like, I'm a little scared. And then, we end up at a wedding chapel and then we see a fake Elvis, and it's all just like when you get flashbacks of the night before. It was really like what it was played like on the screen. It was like, oh, flashback of this, flashback of this. And I just remember Grace thinking it was the real thing.
She was an emotional mess. She was really
Yeah, I think the beginning of the night kind of like got to her a little bit too. So it was a little bit of a built up of emotions, and she's overall happy for Maddie and Joe.
That's good. That's good. We got to meet Shelby, who is someone you've been friends with. You've had moments of intimate moments together as friends and beyond. But we also saw you with Bradley, with the makeout. What's the status? What do we think is happening for you when it comes to your relationship status?
So regarding my relationship status, I am single right now, and I think that that's wonderful. I think being 22, you're supposed to be single. You're supposed to experience and experiment a little bit of everything. I still talk to Shelby all the time. She's a great person, and I wish her the best, and she always wishes me the best, and we always have each other's back. And I think women should support women, and anybody in the LGBTQ community should support each other. We have to stick together, especially in these times. We have to stick together.
So true. So well said. Sometimes when shows just hit their stride, I feel like Southern Hospitality season 3 is fire. Everyone is talking about it. But I also think there's such an opportunity because there are so many LGBTQ people on the show. What advice would you have for anyone out there, maybe who's someone of color, maybe who's someone who identifies as queer, or kind of struggling with self-acceptance? What advice would you have for them to kind of just get through and kind of just accept themselves and open themselves up to anything like you have?
Yeah, I would say give yourself grace and give yourself time, because nobody is on your journey except for yourself. You are facing your problems every day. You are having to deal with your own mental battles. And so give yourself grace. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have not everything figured out. Just know that there are going to be people that hate, and there are going to be people that are going through the exact same thing as you, and that they can give you advice or you can give them advice. You could be somebody powerful for them. And so just remember that.
Can't wait to see what the rest of the season's like. And of course, there's going to be a reunion. But until then, everyone, don't forget that Southern Hospitality airs at 9 o'clock on Thursdays on Bravo. And of course, next day on Peacock. We love to see it. Lake, it's so nice to meet you. And like I said, I'm coming to Charleston soon. I'll let you know because I would love to.
Yes, please. I will get you a table and everything set up. I promise.
I love it. I love it.